Championship, and it's been two players I've never seen before. And the tournament room has gone up. You can see the name of the players. We've got Valendern against a curious JugiBob or JugiBob. I'm just going to call him Bob. So neither of these I've seen before. We've had results through. We'll look at the bracket. We've also got a couple of other matches for later on tonight. Both players are in the room. I'm going to join the room, and they're all going to lag off as well for the break. They're fairly evenly matched as far as rating goes, and I would suggest that they are pretty new to Virtual Pool 4. As I say, I've never seen them. Don't know what sort of standard they play to, but we're going to find out. So it's a first to 19 racks. I suppose while we're in the early stages here, we could have a quick look at the bracket. There's this match that's going ahead right now. And if we work our way up, we've got a couple of matches for tomorrow. Not tomorrow, I think Monday. Is that Monday? Yeah, this is the 27th, so it'll be Monday. There's one at 2:30 in the afternoon, and that one is between Wink at Me and Hairpig. And then there's another one later on at night between Slim, One Pocket Slim and SD92. If we move further up the bracket, we've got one of the matches that's on later on tonight at 7 PM between Mr. Strocum and Bedhead. And then there's another one. These two matches cross over one another. There's another match between Mr. Fox and Marvin 96 at 7:30 tonight. In fact, there's three matches. There's two clashing. Larry's playing Christian at 7 o'clock as well. So obviously can't stream all of them. But the one that I'm looking to cover is the one between Mr. Strocum and Bedhead. So that is at 7 o'clock, or I should say at 8 o'clock, because the clocks go forward tonight to British summertime. Well, strictly speaking, they go forward at 2 AM Sunday morning. Now this match could go on for quite a while if these guys struggle to pop balls. I'll just mute my mic as I drink my coffee. We'll get a good idea and an understanding of how both of these players play the game. Well, there's a bit of thinking there. Reasonable enough safety, although if Bob doesn't have a jump cue, then he's obviously going to struggle, because it looks to me that he's just playing with the house cue. His cue would have loaded now. Well, he has got a jump cue. I'm curious that he hasn't got a playing cue. He's just stuck with the house cue, but he's going to attempt to jump over this. He might be going a bit too high. Well, he's managed to get it, and he's got the pot. It just shows you how much I know about jumping. I'm hopeless. Well, not an easy shot on the 6, especially where the 7 ball is, because the 7 doesn't pass the 8, so extremely difficult to get anywhere good on the 7 ball. Now, it might actually be better if he played another decent safety here. Well, that's what he had in mind. Although he could have played that a lot better. As it is though, it's one of these no man's land positions for the 6-ball. It neither cuts to the middle or is easy to the corner, but Valendern's got it into the corner. No luck though. Let's have a quick look. I think he can, well, he's got an easy enough hit in the 7 and he's kicked it in, which is a bonus. Now, can he finish the rack off? He certainly can by the looks of it. So Valendern is off the mark. And remember now, this is a standard 9-ball tournament. It's winner breaks, jump cues are allowed, and golden breaks are on as well. If the 9-ball goes down, it stays down and you win the rack. Well, this has got to come. Well, he played a delicate little drawy shot there to get on that 6. He played it actually quite well, but didn't line up the 4-ball. Now Bob's got a problem again where the 6-ball is. It's difficult to get to, and it certainly doesn't. Well, it doesn't comfortably pop past the 9 and the 8. You'd have to cheat the pocket a bit to get it that way. So you're going to have to work this cue ball a fair bit, as well as pot the 4. And the cue ball's running, and that's a good shot. Now, simple shot just to roll through on this 6 just past the middle pocket, and he'll be on the 7 comfortably. Just check my little doodle's working. I think he's pretty straight in this, so he could just kill it stone dead and run the 9 up the table, or do that. Either way, Bob should be all square. I forgot to mute my mic that time. I'm just going to finish off my coffee. So 1 rack all, long way to go. And the break is dry. And Valendern's missed his first chance at the 1. Got it covered though, and not an easy angle available to get to that 1 for Bob, because there's 3 balls blocking the kick from the bottom rail, the 5 balls blocking the kick from the side rail, which would be all too easy to get to that win ball from the side rail. But he's trying to jump to hit the rail and kick it. There's a strong chance he may well jump off the table. Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. So ball in hand to Valendern. And he's actually, from that miss in the one, he's actually gained out of it. He's now got the ball in hand and a chance to show us whether he can run the table. How's the sound, Stub? Is it breaking up like it was last night? Because I watched this. I watched the start of the stream from last night, and it was there was weird things happening with the audio. Well, no sooner have I said as to whether we're going to see Valendern run out. He's missed a 3 ball, and I would suspect there may well be quite a bit of this going on, where these guys are possibly going to struggle to string balls together. And there's absolutely no difference in the tables whatsoever, other than the colour. Well, Bob has finished really awkward in this 4. Cue ball running down the inside of the rail, and he can certainly get this safe. And again, I suspect he didn't play for that, but he'll take it. And then the awkward ball is getting on the 7. That's provided he can cut this 5, and this isn't easy. Yeah, he's overcut it. Probably better to overcut it than undercut it, because that way it goes to the top rail, although it's off the rail slightly. And well, Valendern trying to send a 5 around the table, but he's forgot about the cue ball and he scratched. Now Bob has ball in hand again. Now, strictly speaking, he should be out here, provided he can get the cue ball out into the table, pot that 6, roll the 7 in, and then just finish on the left side of the 9 and roll it into the top right hand corner pocket. That would be simple enough to do. And if he's taking the 5 across the way, he's got himself stuck right on the rail. Yeah. You know, ball in hand, you can't miss pots with ball in hand. That's a cardinal sin. Valendern again needed a bit more draw in that. He could try a thin cut, but he could reverse bank this. But in the end, he did neither, and he's underhit that by a mile. And Bob has a chance once again. The other thing is Valendern seems to be in a bit of a hurry. And this time Bob's hung the 6. Surely this time. I mean, just a little bit of spin just to help it over to the left hand side. Get it as straight as you can and roll that 7 in, and then just finish as straight as you can in a 9. Well, he could have done with running through another couple of inches here, because this is a slightly blind cut, this 9 ball, and that's what happens. These players aren't used to, well, probably they aren't used to playing on the tournament tables. I don't know how often they've played the game. I don't know how often they've been online. As I say, I've never seen it before, but It may well have been players that played offline, I don't know. But of course, in online tournaments, the tournaments are set to the specific settings, and these are tough settings for a lot of players on these pockets. So it's 2-1 to JugiBob, or Bob as we will call him. So again, we've got, I think it's now 3 matches on tonight, and we may well be jumping backward and forward between 1 or 2 of them, but the main one we're going to see is the bedhead match, who I've already forgotten who he's playing. Who the hell was it again? Mr. Strocum, that's who it is. So a couple of matches at the top of the hour at 7 PM, and there's another one at 8:30 or 7:30, but 8:30 because the clocks go forward tonight. I need to remember that. As soon as this match is finished, that's the thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go downstairs and set my clocks. I also need to set my alarm. So it's an hour less in bed tonight for all of us. And that's going to go, I think it's just holding the line. Now, is Bob going to go for the double bank, or is he going to go for the pot? Well, he went all out for the pot. Is he going to get lucky? Well, it's that distance. It's not easy. But comfortably, Valendern gets it in and squares the match. So Bob had his chance there to open up a gap. That chance is now gone. Into rack number 5. And the break is dry, and Valendern, Bob, is in straight away here. Now these are the type of tables that, you know, if you're going to have any chance of winning matches in this tournament, these are the type of tables that you have to run, because every ball is open, and it's simply about getting yourself onto that next ball. Now this shot here, well, he really needs to draw this back a couple of feet and punch this 3 ball in so that he can get close to the top side of that 4 up over the left middle pocket there. Taking his time, and he's played it well. In actual fact, he's played it too well. He's gone way past the 4 to cut it into the middle comfortably. Good afternoon. I watched that the start of that live stream last night for Friday Night 9 Ball, and yeah, I could hear the audio breaking up. and I think I've now worked out what the problem might have been. I updated a driver before I started the stream, and I think that might have been it, because I didn't reboot the PC. Yeah, that's the match we're going to be watching tonight. There's 3 matches on tonight. 2 of them I think start at 7 PM or what is going to be 8 PM for me, because I'll have my clock set forward at that time. And then there's one at 8:30 as well, so there's like 3 matches on later on tonight. Larry's playing as well. I think he clashes at 7 PM with Bedhead. Larry's playing Christian. Larry should win that comfortably. Good afternoon. There's Bedhead dropped in. Who the hell's Keith? Oh, I never noticed. There's Keith there as well. I never noticed in the chat. So anyway, we've got, in fact, I haven't even had the bloody decency to find out where these guys are from. Let me have a look. Oh, that's great. I can't see for the bloody chat again. Well, anyway, somebody find out where they're from. 2 players whom I've never seen before. In fact, I'd never seen either of these players until this tournament started. These 2 players signed up to the tournament, and I had never seen them in Virtual Pool 4 before this tournament. But it would be safe to say that neither of them are going to be contenders to win the tournament, but the idea is that they learn from the experience. Oh, he's going through a personal crisis at the moment. He's having a midlife crisis, or a mid VP4 crisis. More to the point, why the hell did you no sign up, Keith? Are you still in a huff after the last one? Well, the jump escape, but Valendern has the chance to take the lead. Just kill the cue ball. Didn't need to draw back. The danger with that is he's drawn back near that middle pocket. But he has the lead. And I think that was what was that? The 4 ball, the 2 ball. 2 ball has gone into the left middle, and that 1 ball. Yeah, Valendern. If I was going to give him a bit of advice straight away, it would be actually to slow down. He's another one of these players that's in a hurry to do things and doesn't pay attention to the shot clock there. Plenty of time to get that lined up. What the hell's your health got to do with it? It's a computer game. You should have been in it. Avid man flew and played Virtual Pool 4, and that takes some doing. Serious man flew. Well, Bob's been given a lifeline in this rack. Valendern's hung the 4. And again, that control, which is so vital. Oh, that's a good cut. That's a good shot to stay at the table. I mean, I've got a constant bad back myself. That's self-induced though. That was that all started with the snooker. That's why I had to give up. Now it's bloody exaggerated by the fact that I'm bending down every bloody day. Well, Bob's going to have to force this in to get the cue ball down the table here for the 8. And the pace looks good, but is it going to stay in the table? I don't think so. And Bob's chance has gone to square the match. And now Valendern has a golden opportunity to open up a 2-rack lead. Oh, cue ball thought about it there. Ball in the break though, I don't know what went in, but something went. The 3 ball's gone. And, well, just the safety or the push out. Well, it'll be interesting to see if that bracket has a date on it for Mal's match, his first match. Well, that just needs to slow down a bit, and if it does, it's pretty good to get on the 2. Now, is he going to run into that 7? He may well do so. Of course, that's going to stop him getting close to the 4. And Bob playing with a house cue, but he has a jump cue. Not that he's going to use it now, but I'm just pointing that out, because he's used it earlier on in the match. Yeah, he was always going to run into those balls, and unfortunately now he may well have to dig out his jump cue or go for the kick off that end rail. Of course, the disadvantage that Bob has is that he's only playing with a house cue, so he's not going to have a good break. Well, the boar wiped its feet, but in it goes. Now there's an idea, Keith. You could always join me in the commentary box. Well, that's a perfect little angle on this 6 ball, just to jab it in and leave himself open on the 7. As long as he doesn't run this cue ball and let it run away, he just needs to cut it across, but not too much pace, and he'll still have a sight in the 7. Well, I think he's just going to hold. It needed a wee bit less than that, but it's now a very awkward cut. Extremely awkward. But in it goes. It needs to keep running this cue ball. Now, can Bob clinch this rack, get it back to within 1? He's got to run this cue ball off the rail, because the angle wants the cue ball to go to the rail and back out. So this is about a judgment of pace. He looks as if he's dragging to hold this. Or is he drawing back? Yeah, he's drawn up the table. And he's got there. Well, I've got my own commentary booth on Discord, and it's private to keep any riffraff out, any gate crashers coming in it. You see the way that cue, look at that house cue, and you see the way it's strobing. It's as if what is it you call it? It's as if the anti-aliasing isn't working properly, or whatever the hell you call it. Let's have a look. Where the hell's the graphics at here? Or the vertical sync or whatever, I don't know. I've got everything up high. What does that sync every other frame do? Well, mine's is a 60 Hz. Because mine isn't a proper monitor. And I've got the brightness up. I've got everything else on high, but you can see the way that sort of sawtooth effect shows on that house cue there. And is that going to stay up? Just. So Valendern looking to regain the 2-rack lead. Well, he won't do it from that position because he's dead straight in the 5 and can't get to the 6. So he may well be looking to lock the cue ball up here. That would be the sensible thing to do. But he's gone for the combo. Not the wisest of shots. It was far easier to lock that cue ball up. Admittedly, he's got away with it. The 8 ball acting as a blocker. But those are the type of things where, as I mentioned last night about players who just want to pot every ball and they don't use their head. There are times when it's far easier to play a safety shot than it is to try and take on some crazy half-arse pot or combo attempt. And that was an example there. And Valendern again having a go. Well, Bob's now got his chance, although again he's the wrong side of this 6. He'd have to force this through with a bit of top and right to get this cue ball to run back across. Try and get on that 7. In fact, I don't even like the look of that. Well, he's managed to get there. That's a good shot. Now, can he take this rack out, get it all squared. Well, Bob's certainly taking his time, and that's where he's going to struggle. With a house cue, it's a struggle to get that pace into the shot because it's limited in the amount of power you're going to get from it, and now he's left a really tough cut on the 8. He's got it, but the cue ball's running loose, and it's going to have to be cross table into the middle. So this for 4 racks all. And it's a good one. So we're back all square again. Well, we spoke about how we don't have rack money on in this tournament like we have in Friday night 9-ball every week, where the triangle of ball, or not the triangle, the diamond of balls, the 9 balls are further up the table with rack money. We're playing without rack money, and both players are, well, certainly Bob is going to struggle to get a half decent break because he only has the house cue. But we haven't really seen many balls in the break at all so far in this match. And we certainly haven't seen a golden break yet. We'll wait to see our first one of those. So, just a reminder for any latecomers or anybody who's still there watching this, we'll have a look at the bracket and just clarify what the plan is for later on. We have, from the top down, we've got matches that are all still to be arranged. We've got one result there from last night. There's also another one. Cirrus has gone through against Whiskey. 19, what is that? Is that 19-2? Or is it 19-7? I can't bloody see. I think it's 7. Yes, it is. And then further down we have the match between Larry and Christian, which is due to start at 7 PM tonight. We've got the result there, Potman against Legit Matthew. Potman won 19-10. Dubrovnik has gone through also against Lanabold, 19-11. And then we've got the other match tonight, which is at 7:30, which is Mr. Fox against Marvin 96. And then the 2 matches that clash at 7 PM tonight is this one. This is the second one between Mr. Strocum and Bedhead. That's the one we're going to watch. And I think that is about it. The other matches I think are arranged for Monday. We've got Wink at Me, who's going to be playing Hairpig Monday at 2:30. Now the problem with that is I'm at work till 2 PM on Monday. So by the time I get home, that match will be started, and I won't be home in time to get the start of that match. And then there's another match on Monday evening which is between One Pocket Slim and SD92, and that is at 6 PM. And that is it. Oh no, wait a minute, there's that one. Well, that's the one that we're watching just now, isn't it? So that is the matches that are currently arranged or have been played. So we have 3 matches tonight. Meanwhile, back at this one, we're still at 4-all. We've got Valendern at the table, and that's going to run too hard. And these little basic shots here about controlling that cue ball, going for the bank, it's not going to be there. And this is very, very difficult for Bob, because again, only with the house cue, he's got a slim to zero chance of getting to this 9 ball from that distance. Needs a big dig here. He's going to need a bit of help and spin, because he can't use any more than a set limit of power in this cue. Tried his best, but missed the pot, probably because of it. Is that going to get there? Yes, it is. And this is going to have to be the reverse bank on the 9 ball into that top right hand corner pocket. Well, that might double bank. That's a good line. If it misses the cue ball, well, that was heading in all the way. But Bob has been reprieved. Can he get the cut into the left middle, take the lead after having trailed 4-2? No, he can't. It's going safe though. Well, it's going to be another attempted reverse bank here with Valendern. It's too narrow though. Too narrow an angle to try and play it. So Bob with another go at this 9. Oh, he's way off the line. And his chance is definitely gone this time. You see, when a player's looking, Valendern had a quick look at the potting angle. So these are shots that these players aren't really used to on this type of table. Because anybody who's regularly played Virtual Pool 4 doesn't have to look at the potting angle and that ball into the middle. You just instinctively play it. And so these are well inexperienced players at this online game. So it does take a lot of time and effort to become more comfortable at playing on the online tables with the tournament pockets. And it could well be a fair step up, because again, if these guys played a lot offline, they're probably playing obviously to suit themselves, and they may well not be playing in tournament tables. So there will be that sort of inexperience. But nevertheless, Valendern has got the lead. Bob trailing by 4-2, had a chance of that lead himself. And if Valendern can get his act together in this rack, he may well open up a 2-rack lead. But again, he's in a hurry. He's in a hurry to do things. And that's why he's got himself square in the 6. And he's missed the 6. Again, too much in a hurry, Valendern. You've got to slow down. Well, this is another tough one for Bob. Again, the 6 at distance, and with not a lot of power, he can't get that cue ball under good control, and now he's got himself hooked in the 7. Well, there's nothing easy been left there. The 7 does squeeze past the 9. Well, in the end, I think Valendern couldn't make his mind up where he was going to play it. Well, Bob is certainly going to get his fair share of chances and opportunities here. It's just a question of whether he's going to take 1 or 2 of them. Well, he got on the 8, but he couldn't get the first part of the deal there. Pot in the 7. Now again, Valendern's looking at the line up into this middle pocket. This time he's got it, but where's the cue ball going to end up? Well, that's actually perfect. He can just run that in off the jaw. And now he's left himself the little tricky one to sight the 9, but he's got it. And now Valendern does have the 2-rack lead for the 2nd time in the match. And the 6 ball has gone this time. But no shot in the 1. But an easy safety here. Just cut that 1 ball back the way towards the kitchen and run the cue ball down to the bottom of the table. Well, he's chosen to send the 1 down, and the 7 ball has come to the rescue. Well, that should be a good, I won't see it because I'll be obviously streaming tonight, but that should be a good final session between Barry Hawkins and Ronnie O'Sullivan. I think it ended up all square after the afternoon session. So Bob gets the kick. Well, he's got it pretty safe as well. And of course now there's a problem. The 2 balls stuck to the rail right next to that middle pocket. Really awkward position. And meanwhile, Valendern has somehow ended up getting the 1 ball safe. Easy enough to kick the 1. But it's going to be blocked by the 9 and held at the bottom end of the table here. I don't know whether that was a clean hit there. We'll soon find out. No, it wasn't. He hit the 5 first, so ball in hand for Valendern. But as long as that 2 ball stays where it is, there's no immediate danger here. Good afternoon, Popman. Don't forget to put your clocks forward tonight. Well, speak of the devil, their semi-pro came online. And Valendern, is he going to get it out there? Yes, he is. Just squeezed out past the 8. So it's an hour less in bed tonight. And as soon as this match is finished, which may well be quite a while yet, I'm going to get my clocks changed, set my alarm for tomorrow. You know why that is, Popman? Because of that VR stuff you're doing, twisting yourself in all shapes and sizes, trying to do things with your imagination. That's how you've done that. That's self-inflicted. That VR's a dangerous thing. Well, that's a good cut. How can Bob see this one through? He certainly wants to keep on Valendern's coattails here. He doesn't want to go 3 behind. So I hope you guys will join me later on, 7 o'clock tonight. We've got 2 matches, I think, starting at 7. And we've got one at 7:30, but out of the 2 matches that start at 7 tonight, we've got Mr. Strocum against Bedhead. We've also got Larry against Christian. And Larry should comfortably win that. Well, Larry hasn't played yet. He'll, as I say, the 2 matches clash at 7 PM tonight. We'll be watching the Mr. Well, I'll be streaming the Mr. Strocum Bedhead match, and we'll keep an eye on what's happening in Larry's match. I don't think there should be any major problems for Larry, unless his mouse falls apart in his hands. He should win it fairly comfortably. And at 7:30, Mr. Fox, again I forgot who these people are playing, but Mr. Fox is playing at 7:30 tonight. Where the hell is it? There's that one between Bedhead and Mr. Strocum. Mr. Fox is playing Marvin 96 at 7:30. Good evening, or well, good afternoon, Cobra. Good afternoon to Semi-Pro. Popman, did you get to see Wit's Semi-Pro video? Did you get to have a look at that? Semi-Pro heading out, going to Shooter's Pool. Oh yeah, it's funny. It's on what is it? It's on YouTube, on Taoist Nomad's channel, if you want to see it. So it's 6-5 to Valendern, and you know, suddenly at this rate, we've been on for almost an hour, and suddenly a race to 19 seems very long. Well, a link won't work. In fact, hang on a minute. We're going to lose picture for a second. Hang on.
Thank you.
Right, I'm going to post it in. I'm going to post it in the lobby. Hang on. Yeah, that's it in the lobby there. Have a look at that if you get a chance. It's funny. Well, we are now. Yeah, we're a couple of minutes short of the hour yet, and we're only a third of the way through this match. I don't know how I got involved with it. I mean, how's my mug shot at the end of it? But, I mean, there'll be matches in the tournament that will go a lot quicker than this. It's just a level of consistency that's needed to pot balls. But Bob, well, I think this is his third attempt to get back onto level terms so far in this match. Well, this is going to be the clincher if he can get this 6 ball. Get onto that 7. And now let's have a look at this 8. Plenty of room for the 8 ball to go by. But he's going to have to just dig into the cue ball here. He doesn't want to dig into it too much, which you won't do a great deal with that house cue, but he has gone a wee bit more than he would like here. This is another tester. These blind cuts are not easy on these pockets when you're not used to these tables. But in it goes. He's still got to do it again. And that's another new name as well, that guy's Circuitry. There's about 3 or 4 players that have turned up during this tournament who I've never seen before. And these two are 2 of them. Well, that's well done for JugiBob. Or JugiBob. Or just Bob for simplicity. But we're back all square. 6 racks all. Well, it was always going to be impossible to get on the 2. Valendern is going to try and kick between the 9 and the 7, and he's got the hit, but he's left a cut. Yeah, he was always hitting that far too thin for my liking. He's left it on. A little soft draw. Try and get behind one of these colours. Hasn't managed it though. So you're going to get an awful lot of disjointed play when players do struggle for position and things like that. That's going to scratch. So, Bob has ball in hand. Well, no problem with the 3, no problem with the 4 into the top corner pocket, and no problem with the 5. The problem's going to be playing the 5 dead straight and leaving that cue ball stuck to the rail in the process. If he does that, he's certainly going to be off the rail slightly after playing the 4. And then again, playing with the house cue, the biggest problem of all is if he gets to the 8 ball, because the 8 ball's at the opposite end of the table to the 9, and that makes it extremely difficult with an underpowered cue to get that cue ball moving down towards the 9. But here's the first problem. He is dead straight in the 5. He's going to have to kill the cue ball. He's going to be close to the rail, and if he ends up square on this 6 ball, he's going to be running across the table and potting a blind pocket 6 ball. Well, I think we're a long way from finding that out, Semi, because we've only just started this one. I'm trying to think of what it could be by way of a change. I mean, we should have something like a cribbage tournament or a Honolulu, something different, rather than more of the same. I know what I would like. I would like a cowboy in the 10-footer. That's what I would like. Tournament, that is. Well, Bob is almost there, but this is where he's going to stumble. We've just had a bloody snooker one, for God's sake. This is the one that's going to be the downfall for Bob. He should take his medicine here and leave the long bank on this 9 ball, because the long bank is the easiest shot of all, without trying to work miracles with the cue ball. The 9 ball sitting pretty much in the diamond, in the middle diamond, which is always a good bank up and down the table. That's what I would do in his position, but he's probably going to try and work miracles here. Yeah, you see, that's the problem. He's trying to do great things with the cue ball when he should have took his medicine and just potted the 8. His chance may well have gone. And it was a chance to take the lead. Oh, that's a good shot. Cribbage is a good game. It's a good tactical game as well, as long as you... The one thing about cribbage is keeping your wits about you when you're playing it. It is in the 10-footer stub. You would still play in it But you'd be out of your depth playing that game, Stub. So, Valendern is back into the lead again by just the odd rack. The maximum lead he's had has been 2 racks. He's had that twice, and Bob's managed to get it back, but hasn't ever got into the lead yet, I don't think, Bob. Do you know something? A 3-ball world championship would have a full field, no problem. You'd have every man and his dog entering it, because everybody would fancy their chances. And you'd have to have a winner's side, like race to 21 or something like that for 3-ball. But a rack and 3 balls over in 30 seconds. Well, you'd have a good chance of winning it, Stub. It would widen your odds of winning. So, is that, how do we say his name? Is it JugiBob, JugiBob, or just Bob? Bob. Well, if you've ever seen Blackadder, it's Bob. Bob. Well, Bob. The one I got was for March the 3rd. Cue ball. That's the thing. Got to think about the 2 parts of the shot. The way the angle was going for the cut, and the line the cue ball was going to take off that top rail. It was always going to come down in a parallel line towards this corner pocket, so you have to take evasive action. Meanwhile, Valendern doesn't fancy trying to run out when there's only 4 balls on the table, and tries a very ambitious combo in the 9. He might pay the price for that, though. Admittedly, he's left nothing easy for Bob, but got to show a wee bit more confidence in that, and going for a far-fetched combo in the 9. Well, this match is there for either of these 2 players to win it. It's whether one of them can find a level of consistency for maybe a couple of racks that will make the difference. Well, again, a fairly simple safety shot here. Although Bob's got other ideas of how he's going to go about it. Not the way I would have done it, but okay, he's got cover, but it's an easy hit. And if you kick the point on this rail, you could easily chip the 6 in. Well, that's going to be over the pocket, and Bob is going to have another chance to tie the match again. Yeah, playing poorly today. He's lost about 12 points probably in his rating. He's probably down to 2,400 and he's having a midlife crisis because of it. Well, here's another toughie for Bob. Got to punch this in. Well, I don't know what he's deciding to do here, but it's looking like the bank. Or he looks as if he's going for the cut, but watch this cue ball again. I think he's cutting these too thin by the look of it. The way he lined up to one of the other ones, he was cutting it too thin, and he looks as if he's doing the same again with this 8 ball. The one good thing about it is if he overcuts it to the side rail, it will go safe onto the top rail, and then he'll get the cue ball down the table. No, he's got the line this time. My eyes are getting bad. Well, here's the tester. He's okay, he's not going to scratch. But is he going to get the line to run this 9 in to square it up? And it goes, so we're back all square again. We're back to 7 racks all. What makes you think that, Pop Man? I've yet to have anybody defect from Shooter's Pool to VP4, it's the opposite way around. That's a good one. Now, I don't know whether Valendern has a... I mean, he's got a playing cue, but I don't know whether he's got a jump cue, but he's certainly not jumping that anyway. The 3 balls in the way. And I don't know whether he can get the line off that middle pocket. Well, the line's certainly not down that side. Never in a month of Sundays was he ever going to get it from there. So, Bob has ball in hand. Now the problem, if he can get that far, is the 6 ball, which is hidden behind the 8. Is he trying something ambitious here? Need to watch the cue ball again. Cue ball could squirt past that 8 and 6 ball into the corner pocket here. Well, he's tried the combo. He's got away with it. Now we'll soon find out now if Valendern has a jump stick. He certainly does. Now he's just got to make sure he doesn't follow the 3 in. He's managed to avoid that. And he's way offline. He's not setting himself up. This is the one thing that's noticeable about this guy. He's not setting himself at all before he plays a shot. And then he's going to sit scratching his head wondering why he's missing so much. Got to get yourself set up to play the actual shot. Get it lined, take your time. And he's doing none of that stuff. And meanwhile, Bob's got the cut, but the 5 ball squirted away. This is tough. And is Bob going to go behind again for about the 15th time in the match, I think. It feels like it. Oh, that could make things awkward. He's just pushed the 9 towards the rail. Well, it won't be if Valendern just drops the 8 ball in and gets dead straight behind that 9. So this 9 to go back into the lead. It's going to hold the line. So what are we now? We're now 1 hour and 20 minutes. I can't remember the last time we had a ball in the break. I don't recall when we've had one. It's been so long since I've seen a ball in the break. But Bob's got, well, he's got the safety. It's an easy kick, and if Valendern gets the kick right, well, he's actually hit it half ball. If he'd managed to hit that directly behind, he would have punched that ball up the table and left the cue ball behind the colours up there, behind the 6, the 4 and the 3. And Bob can try another one, try and go over towards the 5. Just a wee bit too pacey, but the 2 ball has given him half cover on the 1. Now again, Valendern just rushing in to play a shot, letting the cue ball run loose and scratching. Well, I think Bob's got a plan here. He's looking for 3 fouls, which is probably a good choice of tactic, considering all the balls are still on the table and he can get good cover. But now he's got ball in hand. Well, he's not even looking at the 1-9 combo, and he might live to regret that. He should have a good look at the 1-9 combo before he does anything else. It's not dead set, but you can certainly make it. You've got to listen to the commentator, Bob. So he's got Valendern on 1 foul. He's got ball in hand for a 1-9 combo, and he's not even giving it so much as a second thought. So he's now potted the 1. He's got himself in the mire. He's hooked himself in the 2, and it's all gone wrong. Well, that's backfired both ways. He should have played the combo, because let's be honest, he's not going to run the table and he's thrown away the advantage he had there. Good afternoon, Bill. Good afternoon, Mooncake. And for all you latecomers, we've got 3 matches tonight. We're going to concentrate on one of them. 2 of them start at 7 p.m. GMT or 8 p.m. British summertime. Clocks go forward tonight. And we are going to be watching the match between Mr. Strocum and Bedhead at 7 o'clock. Larry is also kicking off at 7 o'clock tonight against Christian. And Mr. Fox is playing Marvin 96 at 7:30 tonight. I think that about covers it all. And meanwhile, this is a match that started at 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's now an hour and almost 25 minutes. And it has been tough to watch, but it just shows you that there's a big difference in class right throughout the field in this tournament. And that's not a bad safety there for Bob. No, again, I don't know any history behind these guys at all. I don't know where they've appeared from. They've not been in anything other than this tournament. Among other guys that are in this tournament as well, who seem to have appeared during the sign-up process. I don't know where they're from, because I can't see for my bloody chat thing that's up on the screen. But you know, they're obviously they have a lot to learn, and that's why the match is taking so long, because it's a problem with stringing balls together, as many players have, is just getting that cue ball control. And Bob's at a disadvantage because he's playing with a house cue, so he can't break good, which is why we've had an inordinate amount of dry breaks as well. So Bob has yet another chance once again to square the match. It's not going to be easy though. He's pretty straight in the 7. He's got a slight angle, but not an awful lot to work with. And now this is a big test. Getting off this 8 ball. Back up for the 9 with the house cue. I'll have a quick drink. If I can find my bottle. Oh shit, I've left it over the other side of the bloody room. Well, that's not a bad shot at all, considering well, from what we've seen up to now, this match is there for Bob to win it. And all he's doing at the moment is just trying to stay with Valendern. But it's well within the possibilities of Bob to get himself in front and win this match, as it is for Valendern, but you can't get away and stay away, so something's going to change the way it's running. Something's got to happen. Meanwhile, there's 2 balls on the break, and Bob looking for cover. And if this kisses a 3, well, I thought it was going to end up behind a 5. Yeah, he doesn't set himself up Although this time he's lining past the 4 ball. He had a good guide there with the 4 ball, but he's going to be in trouble again though. As long as you can see the edge of this 3, he can get up the table. Just feather the 3, get a bit of spin on it, and get that cue ball well away. Well, again, that's not difficult to hit, and if Bob gets this right, he could kick this in, or at worst punch it up the table and leave the cue ball up there, as long as it can avoid the 9. You should be looking more towards that. Yeah, he's almost got the line. I had a chance of going in there. So all the balls wide open. And Valendern can certainly pot the 3, but can he get the cue ball away from that 9 ball and get a sight in the 4? Well, no, he can't. Well, this is a tough opening shot for Bob, but he's got to be on the 4 ball if he cuts this 3 up the rail. Oh, he hasn't got into it. Hasn't got into it at all. He was thinking too much about the 4 when he should have thought more about the pot. The cue ball was going to take care of itself there. And meanwhile, what the hell's his name? Is it Valendern or Valendern? It's Valendern. Oh, I think he's just see this 5. He may well have enough of that to pot it, I think. Yes, he does, but the cue ball's going to squat behind the 7. That's going to come to Bob's rescue again. Now, this might be a chance for Bob to get into the lead. Then again, it might not be, because Valendern's got the hit and he's got the distance, which is most important. Good evening. Right, I'm going to say this again for all the latecomers. We've got 3 more matches tonight. It kicks off at 7 PM GMT. And the main match we're concentrating on is Mr. Strocum against Bedhead, provided Mr. Strocum turns up. Larry plays Christian at 7 PM as well. And then at 7:30, Mr. Fox plays Marvin 96. And then there are 2 matches scheduled for Monday. There's one at 2:30 in the afternoon, which I won't see the start of because I'll be coming home from work at that time. And then I think there's one at 8 at night. I can't remember who's playing. Well, Bob has finally got the lead. And he's halfway home. But the break is dry. And the other thing is with that, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of experience at playing virtual pool over the years, and we take it for granted that we're a lot more comfortable playing on these tables to what these guys are. If these, as I said earlier, if these guys have came online or they've been playing offline and they've had the game set to the way they've been used to it to make life easier for them offline. For them to come, that's a foul, for them to come online and play in the tournament table, the tournament settings, which I'm pretty much certain that they're not used to playing. You know, these pockets are tougher. You know, the more that you play these tables, the more you realise how these pockets are not as forgiving, especially at pace. So they've got a lot to learn. Movement of the cue ball, control of the cue ball. Why does Monster never come in the stream? Somebody ask him. But is Bob going to get a 2-rack lead? That's the question. Can he kill this cue ball? Punch that 6 in. Kill the cue ball stone dead. No, he's letting it run. See, he's letting it run loose. He's not confident enough to play the shot. And now he's going to be running the cue ball. And ideally he wants to run around these 2 rails and get as straight as he can on that 8 ball to make it simple enough to drop it in and then drop the 9 in as well to guarantee a 2-rack lead. Now, this is the question is where he, you know, whether he's thinking really about what he's doing here, because he just needs to pot it with the pace to get the cue ball over to this line here. So anywhere along that line, whether it be down here or not, and that is perfect. But of course, remember what we said, he should have killed the cue ball on that 6 into the middle, and he just let it run, and that's why he got himself offline in the 7, and that's why he made his life a lot more difficult than it could have been. You've got to then take the game to that wee bit higher level and play the right shot that gets the cue ball in the right place, and that's where he failed there. And it should have been a guaranteed 2-rack lead, and that's why it's going nip and tuck, nip and tuck. These players just don't have the game to put racks together, and Bob's getting another chance because Valendern not lined up again on that 9 ball, way off the mark. Reverse bank on the 9, or bank into the middle pocket, but it's going to have to be made into the middle pocket. It's nowhere near set. He's going to have to push that towards that middle diamond. He's got it twice with the pace, and he does have a 2-rack lead. And I don't know why Bob's apologising. You always play for the double bank if you're hitting it at pace. Never apologise. Well, he's got the 7 in the break, a shot in the 1, too much of an angle to hold for the 2. Because if he could, he would have a 2-9 combo dead set at distance, admittedly. Let's have a look. He's going to run. I mean, if he plays at a gentle pace, he can leave that 2 ball into the middle. If it bounces, I don't think he can get it. Well, it will get past the 3. If he plays it into the middle, he's going to run over towards the 8 ball. Yeah, he's definitely going to run over towards that 8 and 6. If he misses them, he might go far enough to have a go at the 3 into the middle, but that's a bit ambitious. He looks as if he's going long into the corner pocket. And he looks also that he's drawn back off it. He's just going to draw back towards the 5. Oh, he just killed it. Not bad. I think he was, what, was he 4-1 behind against or something like that, and I think he took the lead, or 3-1 behind, or 3-0 behind. He was 3-0 behind against Barry Hawkins, and then I think Ronnie won 4 in a row to take the lead, and then Hawkins won the last one to square the match. I think that's how it went. So, final session in an hour and 20 minutes time. So, Valendern back at the table, and well, he's got a problem here. Not an easy cut in the 5, and the 6 is guarded by that 8 ball, and he sent it to the rail. So, like I said earlier, this match is there to be won for Bob if he can get himself in front. Well, he's got himself in front. He's got the 5 hanging over the corner pocket. He's going to leave a long 6 ball. Again, unless he tries to get too ambitious with this cue ball here. But he could have a 3-rack lead in a minute. And he has done. Has he gone too far? Yes, he has. This is where you've got to know your limitations. Just pot the 5, leave the 6 long, and don't try and get too ambitious. And now he's blown his chance maybe in this rack. Now that you mention it, Mr. Strocombe, what tournament was it? What tournament was it that Mr. Strocombe was playing in? And as far as I was concerned, he had the same problem that Valendern had. I think I can't remember what tournament it was, but Mr. Strocombe, I think, was he in too much of a hurry as well? Maybe I'm mixing myself up with him and somebody else, but I think Mr. Strocombe was at fault for the same thing that Valendern's been doing. Just been too eager to play shots and not enough focus in actually getting himself set for a shot. I might be wrong, but we'll find that out later on. I can't remember, but something, there's some place in the back of my head is telling me it was Mr. Strocombe. Well, it's back to within 1 for Valendern, and a ball in the break, a shot in the 1, well, 2 balls in the break, the 4 and 5, and he's played a half decent safety, and he's got control of the table at the moment. Bob gets a hit. It hasn't gone safe though. Well, that little hit on the 8 balls worked out very nice to hold for the 6. And Valendern has his chance now to square the match once again. Now, this is where he just wants to drop across for the 8 ball into the same pocket. Perfect angle on the 8, just a natural angle. Pot the 8 and run up the table. He wants to run up the table a wee bit more than that though, just to make it more comfortable. And he's letting that cue ball run loose as well. But we're tied at 10-all. And a number of balls in this time. And a cut in the 1. In fact, tell a lie, 9 ball's gone. That's our first 9 ball that we've seen in the tournament. And Valendern all of a sudden is in the lead. I never even seen the 9 going in. I knew something went in. So that's our first golden break on the stream. So from trailing by 2, he's now back into the lead. Well, the 1 obviously doesn't go. We might as well give this a bop. And he's not going to get the cover, I don't think. It's just going to squirt out past the 3. Well, when you look at a table like this, you know, if it was any of the guys, you know, playing in the Friday night 9 ball last night, or obviously the contenders that were playing last night, then they're going to run this table. You can say that with confidence. But immediately, Valendern's got himself way square on this 3 ball. Playing the bank. That's going to run it. The rail, is it going to hold its line? It has done. But now he's hooked in the 4. The old hit and hope here. Oh, he's going to end up scratching anyway. Well, it's still a vital visit now for Bob because he's got ball in hand. Can he string these balls together and get the match all square again? Has he overcooked it? Well, he wants to be straighter on this 7. That cue ball's now heading towards the 8 ball. Anything can happen here. Yeah, again, just not getting himself a good line on that 7 to make it a more comfortable shot. And so now Valendern is the one with the chance to open up the gap again. And he should be there. Well, this is another tester. But plenty of room to cheat this pocket. Just get the weight right. And that's a poor effort. That's very poor. Again, just rushed it. You just got to line it and play a nice gentle pot down the line. And if you go to the rail first at the right pace, it's still going to go in. And now Bob has a tester of his own. And in it goes. Cue ball safe. And we are back all square again. Right, what time is that? I'm just going to set my little clock right now, an hour in front. I'll do that, and I'm also going to set my alarm clock. I'll stick that an hour in front while we're watching the match, because I can nip over and grab a hold of my alarm clock. These have got quite a long cable on them, these headphones. So I can sit on the edge of my bed, still see the match, and adjust my alarm clock. But knock everything off my little table in the process. What time is it? Well, it's 17:47 at the moment, so I'm trying to set it for 18:47. If I can remember how to bloody adjust the time on this damn thing. That's the worst thing about the clocks going backward and forward. Should have a button on these alarms just so that you can set it for summertime. Right, that's my alarm clock set an hour in front. So that takes care of that. I don't need to remember about that. That's it, done. Right, that's that, fine. I don't need to remember that now. Oh, you're talking about technology, Potman. All of this Alexa stuff is all bypassed me. If I was still working in Curry's, I'd be well up to date with all of that type of stuff. But it's been, what, how long is that now? Well, it'll be 7 years, and I think this is April. Well, next month will be 7 years at Tesco. And I was already 5.5 years. I was 5.5 years out at Curry's when I took up the carers job, so to speak. When I gave up my work in Curry's, so that's like how long ago is that? That's like 7. That's 12, more than 12 years. I mean, and technology's moved on. All this Alexa stuff and all of these clever gadgets weren't around then. So that type of technology and training and all of that stuff has all bypassed me. I don't know. I mean, I don't see the advantage of having anything like that for me. Don't forget, I'm still thinking about buying a contract mobile phone, because my phone that I've got was only bought 7 years ago when I was travelling to, when I knew I was travelling to Glasgow every day. So I'd never any need for a mobile phone back then. And even though I've got one, I never use it. I only ever use it at work. But I definitely need a new one. I mean, this thing it was out of date when I bought it, which is why I got it cheap, and why they probably gave me a digital camera to go with it. I've still got the camera, but I've never used that either. And it's quite a dinky little digital camera. Anyway, back to the match. It's now 12 racks to 11 for JugiBob, or JugiBob, or Bob. And, well, we are rapidly approaching 2 hours for this match. And I think this will be the longest match of the tournament, to be honest with you. I can't see any other match being as long as this. We might actually have had a match longer than this. I don't know out of the matches that have been played so far, but I can't believe there was. Well, if Bob can just hold himself together here, he can have a 2-rack advantage again. We're not quite at the business end of the match, but it's always good to have that little gap. Again, he's potting into a blind pocket. He's got to get this cue ball around the corner and into the table. or he's not going to have a good angle to pot this 9. Got to watch the pace as well. And that is actually a good shot. That is well played. Went narrow right into the bottom left hand corner there, using the 2 angles in that corner pocket, and he's got himself plumb on the 9 ball. That was a good shot. And it is 2 racks again, the lead for Bob. And you'll notice that Bob as well, he is moving it up. He's moving it up just to the centre it with the middle diamond. But again, it's come up dry. And Valendern may well just have a bop at this 1-9 here. Well, the one's gone in the opposite corner. And he's now got himself in a whole heap of trouble here. Because he's going to have to try and get the distance over this 6 ball. He's managed to do it, but once again he's not lined himself up whatsoever. He's not used the W key to get himself lined up on that 2 ball. And again, spent no time at all setting himself up to play the shot. So if somebody wants to have a word in his ear, that won't be me. But he definitely needs to take his time. He's given himself no chance to play any half decent shot by just rushing it, especially in a shot like that where he needed to get the jump. And he managed to get that part of it right, but he wasn't even aiming at the ball. But Bob won't be bothered about that because he has got a chance to stretch the lead. And Bob is thinking about what he's doing to a much greater extent than Valendern. Because sometimes a lot, if you put a bit more hard work in, then you might get more out of it in the end of the day. And certainly Bob is doing the right thing. He's taking his time, getting himself set. But he certainly looks as if he's warmed more to the task than what Valendern has. But can he get these last 3? Well, this is where he's got to trust the pace. It's offline, so he can run the 8 ball in, run off the bottom rail, and come back up to the middle of the table, play that 9 into the right middle pocket. It's all about just judging the pace. And that looks not too bad. He's maybe just overhit it a tad, but he should be fine. He's just got to get a bit of bottom on this cue ball. He doesn't want to play a stun and let the cue ball do something daft here. I think he can run forward and go to the rail anyway. I think he'll be okay for the scratch, but didn't want to do something daft here. Yeah, but he has got the 3 rack lead. 14 racks to 11. Did I think that Bob didn't have... He must be playing with a break cue now. I thought he didn't have a break cue. But he certainly get what? The 2 ball's gone, the 5 ball's gone, the 7 ball's gone. He's got an awkward cut in the 1, but this cue ball, well, he's overcut it, and he was trying to hold it there for the 3. He certainly got in the 3, but it was asking a lot. It was not an easy 1 ball. And Valendern, again, he's missed a fairly simple 1 ball. Got on the 3, and he's gifted a chance for Bob again. But there's far too much carelessness throughout this match for Valendern, and that's why he's now found himself behind and could be going further behind. This is not a bad line on this 3 ball, just to run the cue ball through for the 4 in the opposite middle. He's just gone a wee bit off the line a bit, but again, if he just runs through and keeps going, he can drop the 6 into the other middle again. Nothing you need to do with the cue ball other than just let it run. It's just all about the pace control. Get the pot in line for the 4, let the cue ball do the rest, but just don't go too far to be interfering with that 9 ball. But the line should be pretty good on that 6. Is he going to come off the rail? I think he's okay. That will do. And that's a good angle as well, because it means he can run to the rail. He doesn't want to leave himself straight on this 8 ball. He wants to be out into the table, or at least inside like that slightly. Now, a little bit of stun and maybe help and spin would be the order of the day here to get a good line in a 9. Now, if you guys are here at 7 o'clock, I'm going to make my own little announcement at 7 for the tournament on my behalf. So you can remind me at 7 o'clock. Oh, there's Ron. There's where the hell's he come from? Is he another shooter's pool defector that's come back? So again, on behalf of or for the benefit of latecomers, we've got 3 matches tonight. I sound like a bloody broken record. The match that we are going to concentrate on, again, provided that Mr. Strocombe appears, is the match between him and Bedhead at 7 o'clock. And also the match between, we have the match between Larry and Christian at 7 o'clock. And then at 7:30 we've got a match also, all in the first round, between Mr. Fox and Marvin 96. And hopefully this match will be finished by 7 o'clock, because it's now been on for 2 hours. And it's Bob that's stretched the lead to 4 racks now, and Valendern has missed a kick. Bob's got Bob's got ball in hand. He won't be running this rack. unless he can get a breakout on that 6 and 7. Yeah, what time's that? It's now gone just past 6, so it looks as if we're probably not going to have much of an interval between this and the start of the other matches. But I might have to make a bathroom break. Well, he's got the perfect opportunity here to cut that 3 ball and let the cue ball run right down behind the 7 and 6 here. He's certainly going to be sending the 3 very near the pocket, if not in the pocket, but he can get distance. But the pressure is all on Valendern now. And the interesting thing is whether Valendern's going to change his approach and actually slow down and concentrate and focus more now that he's got work to do. And he's going to get, oh, that's unlucky. I thought he was just going to chip the 6 and 7 there, but he's got the pot in the 3. Well, this is I suppose, I mean, he could go for the blast into the top corner. He's not going to get near the 6 and 7 in terms of breaking them, but he might have a chance of making a combo. There's enough gap between the 6 and 7 to make the line onto that 7. You'd be cutting the 6 just to chip that 7 into the corner. Meanwhile, Bob's had a blast and he's got away with it because he hasn't hit the 6 and 7. And now I've had a drink of water, I've got the hiccups again. Without fail, it happens every time. I don't know why. Now, has Valendern got there? Well, he's not far enough to actually pick that line to make the cut for the combo. But once again, he's not put a great deal of thought and time into what he was doing there. Okay, he's left it awkward for Bob. But if Bob goes for this full-blooded, he's going to run the 6 into the middle and get that cue ball running up and down the table. Is he trying to draw back off it? He is. Well, that's a good shot. I didn't think he could do that, but he got into it. Well, this will be a sore one for Valendern. And as I said earlier on in the match, I could see the difference in the two players. The commentator's eye never lies. JugiBob was the player who was showing that he was putting more focus into what he was doing with the chances he was getting, and if he could just get 1 or 2 of them and put them together, he could get a lead in this match. And he's been chasing it all the way. He's been 2 racks behind, back all square, 2 racks behind, and then he got that lead, and he's now got the chance to stretch it even further, racing towards the finishing line. So I'll give him the credit that it is due, that he's not going to win the tournament, but he's going to be somebody who thinks about what they're doing, and that is something I always like to see in a player. I don't care what their rating is, if I've never seen them before, but if you see somebody who's actually applying himself and, you know, not doing stupid things and actually putting an effort in, then they get every respect from me, because he's got the end result there, he's got the reward, and he's got a 5-rack lead, 16 racks to 11, thoroughly deserved, because he has applied himself far, far better than Valendern has. Sticks out like a sore thumb, so it does. The break this time is dry. And that's going to be hooked. Oh, I'll tell you something, Keith. You know what you want to do? Listen, scrap that and go on to the download sites and download the Harsh Russian map. I'll tell you how to install it and get onto that map. That's the map that's going to sort the men out from the boys. You've tried any other maps, you want to try the Harsh Russian one, and that'll sort you out. Because there's the bootleg version. The one I've got is the one I bought and paid for, but the bootleg version is on the websites, and you want to get that installed. You've never lived until you've driven in that map. Believe me. I've got a trip at the moment that's what, is it 500 or 600 miles? And I'm about, I think I've done about 30 or 40 miles. Oh yeah, you've got to download. It's about I think it's about 4 gigabyte, 4 gig, the download. And once it's been unzipped, it's about 6 gig. It's a huge file. It's all 1-to-1 scale map, remember. And there's loads of problems on that map that will catch you out, I guarantee that. Yeah, everybody's got to try that one at some point. So, Bob comes to the table. He's got a wide open shot in the 4. And is he going to hold himself together once again to take himself within a couple of racks of victory? Yeah. Just struggling with picking his line. And Valendern not getting into the cue ball at all. Got the jump. But it's not really safe because it's off the rail far enough to entice Bob into a thin cut in this 5. Let's see how he's doing for alignment here. That looks not too bad. No, just got it too thin. He might have escaped though. He has done. Oh, Valendern's missed a hit, and this is a gilt edge opportunity now with ball in hand. And all of a sudden Bob's decided he likes the idea of a combo to 9 at an outward angle. And he refused a combo to 9. It was a lot easier than this earlier on in the match, remember? Or was it him? I'm sure it was. Now, is he getting away with that? No, he's not. Well, here's a pressure visit for Valendern. Let's see what he's made of. He can run this 6 ball past the 9, so all he needs to do is pot the 5 and do nothing with the cue ball other than make sure he just gets out. And he's decided to just have a blast at it. You see, he's put no real thought into that. The simple shot is you pot the 5 and let the cue ball come out to there so that you can run the 6 down. Again, this is what I'm talking about. The player's not thinking really about what he's doing, which is half the battle. It doesn't matter how good a level you play at. If you're not doing the right thing and the simple thing, you're making your life 10 times harder. And that's a perfect example of it. He just needed to pot the 5, get the cue ball out to the first diamond at the end rail there, left to the 6 ball as we look, run the 6 ball down the rail, and that was that taken care of. But Bob at the table, a blind pot on the 6, and that's why he's hung it. So Valendern's getting his opportunities here. This is going to be a second go at it. He should probably be using the rail here to chip that 6 in and let the cue ball run to come down. He's playing the draw, you see. Again, the shot to play would be to kick the 6 like that so that the cue ball goes like that and comes down this side for the 7. And now he's got no shot again. And he's going to scratch. Oh, this is going from bad to worse at the wrong time here for Valendern, I'm afraid. Because the fat lady is in her dressing room and she's gargling at the moment. It's all going to be all so simple for Bob. Just to pot the 7, drop the 8 in, and drop that 9 dead straight into the corner. So it took a wee while for this match to take shape, but we've seen it build and develop for Bob as he settled into the match, whereas Valendern's done the opposite. He's gone from bad to worse. The more that's required of him, the more that he's had to do something, the less that he's actually done, because the pressure's got to him. He's now trailing by 6, and that is way beyond him at this state. That is a good idea, Bob. I think I'll join you. I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. I've obviously Bob's still got an outdoor toilet. Oh, he's back. So we've got JugiBob, however you want to pronounce it, with a 17 racks to 11 lead in a match that is now 2 hours and 18 minutes old. And Valendern at the table. Well, again, he's not let the cue ball run, so he's got nowhere near the 3 ball. The concentration there was actually in just potting the 2. It wasn't in actually getting position in the 3. So he's played the safety. I'm just moving the chat just now. Hang on a sec. Just so I can find out where these guys are from. Right, Valendern's from the States and JugiBob is from Finland. Oops, wrong thing, hang on. Oh, Bob must have flunked another one. He's got that guilty feeling about him again. He's apologising again. Right, how's he finished? Well, he's got the angle to get across for that 7. He can try stunning across, which might be a bit ambitious, or he can run forward. Again, trying to do that. Yeah, he's running forward, and that's why he's pushed the 6 offline. So Valendern lives again, but he's now pretty much at the point of no return. Is that going to stay open for the 7? Yeah, thought it was going to squirt behind the 9. And a little soft draw, and again, not setting himself. Far too quick, far too rushed. He might have actually escaped there though. Yeah, 7 balls not going anywhere. Well, that's not a bad outcome. It's not left anything inviting at all for Valendern. And big pressure on this, because if Bob comes to the table with a shot, he could be on the hill. Well, he's got something of a shot. Not an awful lot, mind you. Well, he can certainly see enough of the 7 to pot it. He can certainly get there. And if he had got it there, he was on the 8. Oh, this is going to be over the corner. But it's dead straight. And Bob's going to have to dig into this cue ball to prevent it from running through behind the 7 and straight into the pocket as well. Because if he just drops it in dead weight, he's going to leave an awkward cut across the table for that 8 ball. Well, he's managed to get it out. That's not bad. And once again, just a drop in and he's on the 9. And he'll be on the hill. 1 away from round 2. And that'll do nicely. Cue ball's running at a nice pace. Just got to, again, just be careful. Don't let the cue ball run plain ball, because you're dicing with the corner pocket. You want to just jab this in with a wee bit of draw to stun it in. That will do. And well, Bob has ran away with this match in the end. He's now 7 in front with the break and just needing 1 more to go through. The break is dry, but it's safe. That's not a bad shot. Got good distance. But Valendern could play the billiard, I think. Let's have a look. He could certainly have a go at the billiard onto the 5 from the 1. It's worked out. He's well, at least he's got half a shot in the 1. I don't know whether he can see enough to try a cross bank. I don't think he can. Just trying to get distance. Well, Bob using up his time. And that's a good shot. He gets the end result from getting himself set up. And it's just a pity Valendern's not actually learning anything from this. I hope he does. But it's going to be too late for this match, I'm afraid. Well, Bob looking for a good safety here, and he's got the room to do it. And that, is it going to get cover or is it going to be exposed? Oh, he's got the cover. That's a good shot. It's too long to jump over the 6. I think the 8-ball is coming to Valendern's rescue. Not a difficult hit in the 2. In fact, if Bob can get the thin edge on that left side of the 2, he can get good distance around the angles. If he hit it hard enough, that is. He actually got it too thick. So once again, Valendern comes to the table with an opportunity. If he can get round behind the 8, between the 4 and the 6. Well, he's gone again inside. The 3's not going past the 9. Why he's went that line, I don't know. I mean, that ball had to have the wrong English on it to end up going that direction. Good evening, Mark. Well, now that you've arrived right at the end of this match, which started at 4 o'clock. So it's 2.5 hours this match. And I'm going to hedge my bets and say it's the longest of the tournament. Once this match finishes, I'm going to have like a 10-minute break. And we'll restart the stream for 7 o'clock. And we'll have hopefully the match between Mr. I don't even know if Mr. Strokum's in the lobby. We've got Mr. Strokum and Bedhead at 7 o'clock. We've got Larry and Christian at 7 o'clock. And we've got Mr. Fox against Marvin 96 if he turns up at 7:30. But the main match we will focus on, provided everybody appears, will be Mr. Strokum and Bedhead. But it's JugiBob with 3 balls to take him through to round 2. And once again, a reminder to everybody, don't forget your clocks go forward tonight, or tomorrow morning at 2 AM as a matter of fact, to British summertime. Another little testy cut on the 8-ball for Bob, but if he plays it gentle enough, he'll leave himself good on the 9. He doesn't want to let this cue ball run. Just wants to get it dead weight, but that's what's undone him. Those little angles like that are the ones that are a bit too testy for him. And Valendern gets a lifeline. And it looks as if he's going to save 1. Well, 1 AM it goes to 2 AM, aye. So, Valendern lives again with the assistance of Bob. Well, we've had 1 golden break in this match. And a fair few dry breaks, that's another one. And is Bob going to have a bash at this 1 in the 9? And just hit and hope. He looks as if he's taking a line for the pot. And then again he looks as if he's thinking about pushing it up the table. No, he's back at the pot. Well, I think he's done the right thing in overcutting it, because he's got it nice and safe. If you're ever going to do anything there, the best thing to do is to overcut it like that. Where's the 9 going? And as I said earlier as well, when we're back for the matches tonight, I've got my own little announcement to make. It's nothing major, but it's just something I thought I would do. seeing as nobody else is doing it. You'll get my drift once I explain it. So, Bob at the table, 1 ball over the pocket, 2 ball is awkward. 3 ball behind the 9 at the top end of the table. So, not particularly easy to do much here at all. He's probably better running for cover. He could actually cut that 2 and let the cue ball run up towards the 9. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's a very, very tight pocket, that middle pocket for the 2. But it's far easier to run for cover here off this 2 ball. That looks like what he's doing. All of a sudden he's jacking up slightly now. I don't know what he's doing. Well, he had the right idea. Oh, almost. I knew the cue ball was going towards the 9 if he just played the right pace, and he gave it every chance. But now it's a 2 ball game, because whoever gets it, well, they'll need to be really unlucky not to have a shot in the 3. But Valendern is the one that's going to get it. It's going to be a billiard or the thin cut, and in goes the 9. And that's 2 in a row for Valendern. And in goes the 8. But no shot. Oh, he's missed a kick. Now, what's Bob going to do here with ball in hand? He could certainly punch the 1 up the table and leave Valendern buried. What's he trying to do? Skim the 1 and chip the 9? I think that's a bit over ambitious trying that. Yeah, he's not going to get it doing that. You would have to play the cue ball from here to skim towards the 9, not from where he is there. I don't think, well, he might prove me wrong, but I don't think that's the line. He's trying to just scrape the 1. Well, he wasn't far off it in the end, as a matter of fact. But he's got second prize. Well, it's 18-13, a 5-rack lead. Now is Bob going to start panicking? Sometimes strange things happen when you only need the 1 rack. Because if you spend your time waiting on your opponent making a mistake and making another mistake, it might not happen. You're not going to get it gifted to you. And Valendern gets the 1. But once again, no shot in the 2. And he's got to get lucky here. Can he just see an edge? Just an edge of the 2. But that's good over the middle. So Bob has another chance. Now can he string them together one more time to get this match done with? Because it's now 2 hours and 36 minutes. Well, he's left it awkward angle and awkward to get to the 4. That's a good pot though. Excellent pot. He's given himself every chance here. Got a reasonable line for the 4. And that was well played also. Now, well, if you're going to do anything, don't hook yourself behind the 9. Dead straight. You've got to be confident enough to play enough draw to get to the rail, but not any more than that you're going to end up behind the 9 like that. So now he's going to have to kick. Just overhit it a tad too much, but he could chip this in if he gets it right. Well, if this was Valendern, they would have already played this. This shot would already have been played. And that is unlucky, and this might be another gift for Valendern. 3 in a row. If he gets these, it's awkward though. 6 balls deep in the pocket. Got to get the cue ball out of there. He's run into the 9. And now he's got a tester that could very well cost him the match if he doesn't get it. And he's missed the 7. How's it finishing up? It ain't very inviting for Bob, but he's got to go for it. Top left hand corner. That's well played. That's excellent. Now, can he complete the job? Looks as if he's lining up for the middle. I'd be playing it long. Far easier shot playing it long into the corner. Oh aye, that's definitely the shot for me. Down the rail into the corner's far, far better. Much more comfortable shot to play. But in it goes. At last we have a result, and it's JugiBob from, I think, Finland, who beats Valendern of the USA by 19 racks to 13. And so the match is over. I'll have a quick look at the bracket. Get this thing to work. Not 10 minutes, 30 seconds. I will be back in approximately not much more than 10 minutes, and we'll be back to see Mr. Strocum and Bedhead, and we'll keep an eye on the Larry and Christian match as well. So with that, guys, the break is going to be short and sweet. Thanks for watching, and if you can, join me in about 10 minutes. We'll be back for the evening session, and we will see you in a minute or two.